a Doctor Who.
I am the Doctor, this is my section. Earth is under my protection. Planet of birth is Gallifrey. I've got 2 hearts, your life is safe. Run into the Master Raw, Missy. Come on, Alonzo. Alonzi. I am a Time Lord. No, I'm not rich. 12 bodies a man. Now it's time for a switch. Don't look like that. I'm in great health. You were expecting someone else. Regeneration. Oh, such fun. When I say run, run, run. What's up, my boy? Peace and sanity. Sorry, mustache. Reverse the polarity. Sometimes I'm north, but always a limey. Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Jump in the TARDIS, go for a ride. It's bigger on the inside. Exploring all of time and space. Oh, what's that? Exterminate.
Cyberman, a Daleks, baby.
Would you like a jelly baby? Time's ticking, we'd best go. A new adventure, Geronimo! I am fantastic, so are you. Best come with me, I'm Doctor Who.
Welcome to a brand new episode of D4WH. I'm one of your hosts. I'm bigger on the inside, which is saying a lot considering how big I look on the outside. I'm Adam O'Sullivan. Joining me as always, when we're alone, I call her sexy. It's Nicchia Schutz.
He does call me sexy when we're alone. Could you all leave so I can hear it just one more time?
It's the only way I can get you to record a podcast most days.
He says, come on, sexy. Oh, all right.
Please welcome to the show 2 very talented Brisbane comedians.
Did they not make it? The talented comedians?
No, yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. No, I'm kidding.
We have Adam Nico.
Greetings.
And Stephen Hollamby.
Thank you, greetings. I'm too cold to be sexy today, to be honest.
Well, then put your clothes back on because it's just getting a bit much.
Is it that kind of podcast?
Well,
Yeah, we wear clothes on this podcast. I don't know what podcast you've done, but we wear clothes on this podcast.
Excellent.
yeah, it's just that he's nude sitting on my lap. I just find it a little...
I know,
Nature
and normally
lover.
that's where I sit.
Yeah,
so.
I know. Got a little bit of an Adam lump in my thighs.
Oh, God.
We are digging deep early.
That's what she said.
Okay, Steve, we were talking about before about your history with Doctor Who. Would you want to run through your history with Doctor Who?
My limited history.
Yeah.
Expansive
Yeah,
history.
absolutely. I tuned out in the 80s.
Right. Didn't we all?
I was scared. And the tune that comes on before,
Oh, really?
it freaks me out.
Oh, really?
I can't listen to it, even to this day.
Wow.
But I did some research for the podcast.
Oh, wow.
Hey. And
You found out Doctor Who's a television
I've
show.
dismissed it since the 80s, but I could get into it. I could get into it. Yeah, it seems pretty cool.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
I didn't know Doctor Who was an alien though.
Yeah, how did you not...
I thought they were different doctors altogether. Just different people, and I thought
Oh, I see.
I thought it was like
James Bond, where they just...
Yeah.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, get new Slayers or whatever,
No, same person.
Same person.
There you go.
Technically, yeah.
And that's kind of creepy. That's kind of creepy.
I don't know. Wouldn't you like to be able to regenerate into a different person at some point?
Oh, absolutely. I think I have already.
My question about that is,
Yeah.
can you kill a doctor?
Yes.
Yeah, you can. You can stop them from regenerating.
So how old do they live for?
Well, the David Tennant's Doctor, when the Master accelerated his aging, he would have been thousands and thousands and thousands
Yeah,
of years old
yeah.
as this little tiny, blobby, wrinkly thing.
Do they reproduce?
They do.
Yes,
Yeah.
With the companions?
Yeah, the Doctor's got a
Yeah,
granddaughter.
well, that's the thing. The 8th Doctor was the 8th Doctor was the romantic Doctor who basically met his companion and then made out with her, and then kept kissing every companion he ever met after that.
She was the first. He was the first Doctor to kiss. Before
Yeah,
that, the Doctor's very asexual,
Yeah.
and then we had Christopher Eccleston, but then we got David Tennant, who's just like sex on a stick.
Yeah,
and of course, every companion wanted to lick faces with him.
I'm salivating right now.
Yeah, I wanted to lick his face.
He was married at one point to his companion's daughter, who was conceived in the TARDIS,
So therefore-
while they were travelling through time.
So therefore, she could regenerate. So she was older than her parents.
Wow. Okay.
That's Doctor Who.
Conceived
Anything
in the
can
TARDIS. I wondered about that. When I saw a lot of the companions.
If this TARDIS is rocking,
happen. Yeah. Not coming knocking.
He reminds me a little bit of Austin Powers or James Bond or something, and
you think all English people are the same.
Yeah.
no, but then they've got the female doctor now.
Yeah.
What's her
definitely.
name again? Jodie Whittaker.
Jodie Whittaker.
Yeah, and she's got the guy from The Chase.
Yes.
As a companion. What's
You know
going
more.
on?
You know more about Doctor Who than you say. Let on.
I know a lot about The Chase.
Ah,
But
right.
it was humorous to see all these women that previous doctors had chosen, and then Jodie Whittaker's like, yeah, just get the guy from
Get the
Chase.
old guy, yeah.
Well, his wife died.
He's
His
intelligent.
wife was killed by
sorry.
an alien, so she's like, I don't know, do you want to
he
come
all right?
travelling with me?
Okay, cool. I've stepped in it yet again.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
If there's anything you say, we could probably tell you the long, convoluted history behind
Yeah,
it, but you'll be
yeah.
more confused.
And Adam, do you want to go through your history with Doctor
It's
Who?
going to be confusing with two Adams.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm
I
gonna
won't
be
refer to
confused.
myself as Adam.
You can call me Nico.
Nico.
Nico. All right, Nico. Do you want to tell us about your...
Again, limited to the 80s, and like Jenny Winter and my friend here, Steve, scared the shit out of me when I was young. Like, it triggers you, that sort of...
The music.
The music.
Yeah.
But it also confused me because, like, I watched too much ABC TV as a kid, and so there was like Monkey Magic, there was the Goodies. There was also this Scarecrow bloody show, which confused the fuck out of me because the Scarecrow was actually the third Doctor as well, and they were one after the other.
Oh, yes. That's right.
And it's just like, and
Yes.
as a 6-year-old or,
Oh, yeah.
it's like,
yeah.
what the hell?
All brag about how young you were in the 80s. Go on.
What's this
Don't get me
Scarecrow-
started.
I was 652 in the 80s.
What's the Scarecrow show?
I forget what it's called because I didn't see it, but it's...
you know what I'm talking about?
Flippy floppy
Yeah,
Scarecrow
we'll have a
flippy floppy hat.
I can shake my hands like this.
What's that Doctor called then?
John Pertwee.
It was his birthday the other day.
Yeah, just recently celebrated his 100th birthday.
Yeah, well, he's not alive for it, but he was good.
celebrated
He was the very dapper Doctor. He was he was earthbound, but I mean stuck on Earth,
Yeah.
not earthbound.
Sometimes I feel stuck on Earth.
Don't we all? And I forget what it's called, but I remember the Scarecrow show very vaguely.
Is it based on Batman's Scarecrow? He goes around just shooting fear gas to people's
It
faces.
was called Wurzel Gummidge.
That's it. What's a...
It was just a trippy show. He was like he was a scarecrow who can turn into a man.
Oh, Jesus.
That's weird.
And
Well, it was around the same time as...
Oh my god, that looks fucking. That looks freaky, man.
Nico has just shown us a picture.
See, why are you watching that show? If you're scared
Of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
of Doctor Who, why are you watching?
'Cause like good-
Scarecrow?
'cause like good
there was
parents, my
Inspector Gadget. There was the A-Team.
my parents put me in front of TV.
And said, watch.
And they said, don't change the channel. I know there were only 5 channels back then, but
And he was on all of
Stop
them.
bragging.
You're just
we
changing
only
them.
had 3.
yeah.
Oh, you were lucky we
What
had
are we?
2.
Channel 7, Channel 9.
Channel 7, Channel 9, Channel 2, sometimes Channel 10. SBS, you can't get
That came on.
No,
we
yeah,
had
SBS
a
couldn't
regional channel that didn't always work, and the ABC. So you pretty much lived
Okay,
with the ABC.
that's all right.
Sorry.
That's all right.
just
Astro Boy.
totally.
Oh, Astro Boy, yeah.
Kimber. The White Lion. Oh, I got to say Kimber the White Lion again.
That's a bingo if you're playing D4WH bingo. All right.
Okay.
We start as we always do with Doctor Who news.
Whee!
K9 is set to return to our screens.
Oh.
The mechanical
I know who that
robot
is.
dog.
Do you know who K9 is?
Yeah, I remember the picture of him. It's like a dog version of a Dalek.
Well,
Sort of, yeah.
he's not a
What's
bad.
it?
He doesn't
Dalek.
exterminate anyone. You researched Doctor Who and you didn't find anything
I'm
about
just
Daleks.
kidding.
Yeah.
I just wanted
It's like
to
a sewing
insult you.
machine box with like a dog head on it.
Dude, I wouldn't be surprised if they actually got a sewing machine box and just like taped a bunch of shit to it.
That's
Poor
That's
old
Dalek.
K9.
Yeah, they freak me out too.
The pom-poms really made him look cute.
Okay.
I'm just showing
Affirmative,
Stephen a photo
Master.
of K9.
Yeah, look
I
at
am
it.
a robot
That is
dog.
totally a sewing machine box.
Yeah.
I think they have them in nursing homes now.
K9s.
These canine, robots.
Robot dogs.
Yeah, they have robot dogs as companions.
yeah.
I do.
I was superseded by a robot at work, so there
Oh
you
my
go.
God.
Apparently they can
Robot
rob.
dog.
They can rob the old people better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when you were superseded at work because of machines, were you one
I was
of the dogs
downgraded.
that would sit on people's?
Yeah, I was,
You were like a carer.
yeah, absolutely.
Caring animal.
I would stroke their hands and absolutely.
and lick their legs. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was-
Is it wait, when you were replaced, was it just a recorder that just goes, yeah, yeah.
We don't want to stir up anything in the Royal Commission into aged care at the moment, but yeah, I did treat them like dogs. No,
then you're replaced by one. I
Come on,
love the
Maud.
irony.
Come on,
love
Maud.
it.
Fetch, Maud. Fetch.
You want the ball, don't you? Do you want the ball?
I hope that's staying in.
I can
Not
imagine him
Doctor Who
go,
related.
sitting up there, you want your dinner, don't you?
Yeah.
Come here.
If you want your medicine, you're going to sit.
Yeah. Is it a bedpan or a food tray?
It depends.
Depends.
Yeah.
No, K9 hasn't been confirmed for season 12 of Doctor Who.
Oh, that's a pity.
However, a new series for children is being pitched with the mechanical dog as the star.
Why do they keep doing this? It never works. They tried K9 and Sarah Jane, which was K9 and Friends. They
K9
did a
and Company, yep.
K9 they did an Australian one where he flies. It didn't work.
And an animated one. A guy I went to uni with was in one of the episodes.
Really? Really? There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't seen the series, no.
No.
Because of the convoluted story about the rights to all the Doctor Who characters. Apparently, if you created a character,
Yeah.
an original character for the original series, you got to keep the rights to that character. And so Terry Nation with the Daleks went, I'm going to make my own thing.
Wow.
The two guys who created K9 went, we're going to create our own thing, because the character was so popular.
So is there not one creator of Doctor Who?
There's if you worked for the BBC when you were creating something for Doctor Who, it basically belongs to the BBC. But if you were asked to write a script and then you created a character that became really popular, you basically got to keep the rights to that character.
Yeah.
Even though I
Wow,
get paid to do
that's
that
cool.
work.
Yeah.
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 It's like Homer.
Homer Simpson.
Homer- Homer the Odyssey.
Homer's
Yeah.
Odyssey.
Wasn't that written by several people?
Oh,
I
was
don't
it?
know.
I thought it was written by one guy.
I
But
don't know.
I don't know. You know Shakespeare didn't exist.
The Iliad and the Odyssey.
I thought Homer was several people, but yeah.
Oh,
Could be.
that's an
I
interesting theory.
would not be an expert
I
on
don't
that.
know either. No.
Thanks for coming in, listening to our Greek history
Greek to me.
podcast. Next week we'll be talking about
Fables.
Homer and Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
Are they the same character? We'll find out. Now, in the Odyssey, we find the word dough 13 times. I don't know. So they basically, if they want to use one of the old characters, so they wanted to use, I want to say Commander Shepard, but that's not right.
Commander Shepard, I've never heard of.
Not Nicholas Briggs, the
Brigadier.
The Brigadier, that's it. If they want to use the Brigadier, they have to get the rights from the creator, the estate of the creator of that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
So who created the Master?
I don't know, but I should shoot them.
No, I think that was created in-house. That was created by someone at the BBC, so that belongs to the BBC, yeah.
And the Rani belongs to them.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. All right. That's
I like the
interesting.
idea of artists retaining rights, though, to
It's
something.
interesting because they've had those two spin-off K9 series, but they're not allowed to reference anything on the Doctor Who show. So he just goes off and fights other made-up aliens that they don't talk about, and sometimes BBC does allow them to use some stuff, but only if the BBC's broadcasting the show.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
well, that's why the Sarah Jane Adventures worked, because the BBC commissioned it, and
that
so
was the
therefore,
BBC show. Yeah,
they
but then they would have had to pay the creators of K9 to have K9 on that show.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Apparently, 2 production companies are bidding on the new series. It would see a battle-damaged K9 taking part in a space war. As I mentioned before, it won't be the Time War from the series unless the BBC is involved in negotiations somehow.
A space war. With K9. Look, I liked
kids.
I liked K9, but he couldn't move very well, and he was screwed with stairs.
Yes, like Daleks. Yeah, well, that's why they allowed him to
Uneven
fly.
surfaces. He was wrecked.
Maybe they gave like a caged dog, fighting, but robotic.
Robotic. Well, don't they have robot wars? And
Yeah,
you
this is just the
Oh,
next
yeah,
step.
see K9 fighting up against the Beastmaster or something like that. Hello, Master. Oh, God, please stop killing me. I am dead. Affirmative.
No, well, he always ran out of battery too. So, it'd be like, I'm running out of battery.
It's like one of those old portable sort of mobile phones, like...
Yeah. Or like your first Walkman, if any of you ever had one.
I had a
Discman
Walkman.
for me, yeah.
That ran out of battery because you had to put 9 billion in.
Yeah.
Or Game Boy,
Absolutely.
if you're like me, Game Boy, you stick like 8 batteries in and then you get half an hour of...
10 minutes later, music's going. Yeah,
You need new batteries and an optometrist with
Yeah.
things.
They brought out a thing you could attach to the Game Boy that magnified the screen.
I know,
It was
that's
so
mental.
strange.
Absolutely.
That's hilarious.
Anyway, today we are talking about the TARDIS.
Whoa, I love the TARDIS.
Our first themed episode. So hopefully this goes all right.
Yeah, otherwise we'll never do this again.
Oh, God. Well, we're doing it for our live show, so I hope it works.
Oh, yeah. How many tickets have we sold there, Adam?
So anyway, space-based sci-fi franchises all have their iconic ships. Star Wars has the Millennium Falcon, Star Trek has the Enterprise, and Red Dwarf has the, well, Red Dwarf.
And Starbug and Blue Midget.
I wouldn't call those iconic.
No, Red Dwarf.
I
be.
would.
However, whereas the Millennium Falcon is a trade ship, the Enterprise is a research vessel, and the Red Dwarf is a mining ship, the Type 40 Mark III TARDIS is not only the Doctor's primary method of travel, it is also his primary residence.
Good question. So the Enterprise is a research vessel. Why do they shoot a lot of things and get into
It's sort of like a
wars?
research, but it's not quite a military vessel.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but it is designed.
But it does
for,
have torpedoes and things.
It was designed for research.
Oh, okay.
For a 5-year exploration mission.
Okay.
Didn't you say someone was conceived
In the TARDIS? Yeah.
Yes.
I wonder if anyone's been conceived. What am I talking about?
Definitely
Kirk was the
experimenting with
captain.
someone.
Yeah. Kirk was the captain. Of course, someone was conceived on the Enterprise.
Yeah.
Maybe not conceived, but certainly the effort was put in.
I love that someone was conceived there. It's like someone being conceived in
Back of a
you
Tirana.
remember the the Back to the Future. What's the Back
DeLorean.
to the
The
Future?
DeLorean, yeah.
DeLorean.
You'd have to really try for the DeLorean, though. There's not a lot of room in there.
Marty's making love to his mother in the DeLorean.
Marty, you have to go back and fuck your mum.
Nico, I think a
love
lot
that
of people have been conceived in the back of a Tirana. I would just say. With cobra stripes.
Can I just say, because you can change the rooms in the TARDIS, you could have the back of a Tirana in one of the rooms
You
to
could.
receive
Oh my
someone.
God.
There you go.
could.
And have the best of both worlds.
Does he have a panic room?
Oh, he would.
I think it's got a peephole though.
What do you think the doctor's a sicko?
Can't you see
dungeon
into the
room.
phone box or something like that? And anyway, I saw a
No.
hand coming out of it last night.
There was. You're talking about
miniature.
the episode where the TARDIS gets shrunk
Yeah,
down.
and the hand comes out of it and it looks really creepy.
Yeah.
The Doctor's stuck inside because the outside
Yeah.
is shrunk down.
Yeah,
Basically,
yeah.
yes, yeah. There is a. It's called Flatline, and
I love
he's
that
stuck
episode.
inside the TARDIS. Yeah,
Yeah.
And so his companion has to be the doctor.
yeah.
Yeah,
Which I
yeah,
really
yeah.
enjoyed that, actually.
That's cool.
But a lot of people didn't like that episode because they didn't like the companion stepping up to be like
Oh, that's
the doctor.
weird. Okay, so she had to pretend she was the doctor.
Yeah.
And no one believed she could be the doctor. Is that...
No, they did in the show, but people outside of it went, "Oh, I don't like Clara. She's getting too much press. She's too bossy.
Yeah.
This is called Doctor Who, not Clara Who."
Oh, yeah, cool.
And then the show went, all right, fuck you then. We're going to make a woman the Doctor. And then,
Yeah.
oh, okay, all right, let's bring Kalara back. No, I don't know.
I don't think they said that.
No, they didn't. So the TARDIS is basically like a camper van trawling through all of time and space.
It's like your own Winnebago.
that. That's
yeah,
cool.
basically. Yeah, you can. It's it's big inside and.
My husband has promised me when we retire and we'll buy a Winnebago, he's going to paint it blue and call it the TARDIS.
Oh,
Just
that's
for
so
me.
cool. I love that.
I do too.
I love
Just going
that.
to go everywhere in my TARDIS.
Yeah, yeah.
Blaring out the Doctor Who theme wherever you go.
Kissing Dave.
Now, the Enterprise is run with military precision, much like a submarine. The Red Dwarf is run by a large and powerful company, much like any mining site. And the Millennium Falcon is a ragtag bunch of lovable scoundrels, including Space Jesus, as they try and keep out of the hands of space Nazis.
What?
Space Nazis.
I'm triggered by this.
Space
See, this-
Jesus?
You don't think the
Suddenly
Federation,
this is-
not the Federation.
Are
I'm
you
still
putting
thinking
shit on Star
Trek.
Wars?
No, but you don't think Luke Skywalker is Space Jesus?
Well, yeah, maybe.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, he's
It's
definitely
a common
got that.
theme in every sort of.
And he's
Yeah,
we
you've
know
always gotta have a
we know
saviour.
Darth Vader and his what are they called? People,
The Stormtroopers.
stormtroopers. They're Nazis, obviously.
Well, they are.
They
They
were
are.
modelled.
Nazis.
Yeah, they were modelled on
Yeah.
Nazis.
yeah.
weren't
Same with
they?
the Daleks.
uniforms.
The Daleks were also modelled on Nazis.
Really?
Yeah, so
Okay.
the creators of the Daleks, or the people who are living in the Dalek, what's left of them, looked like us.
Yeah.
And
Well, they don't. They look like tentacles.
Well, they did look like us. But yeah, so they were very Nazi-like, and they'd been in a long war, and that's how they discovered the Daleks, and that's them. That's how they could survive.
Do they have to crouch to get into them?
No, what they did was they experimented on them until they were globby things, and then they stuck them in and stuck tentacles and wires on. Not a nice way to end up, I wouldn't think. But
Wow.
But the people operating them originally was people sitting on a little tricycle that
Yeah.
would like trundle around.
Yeah.
And then they had a little seat and they would just like
I
move
love
themselves
that.
around by walking around on their knees. It was, it's quite interesting.
yeah, and they had to move the levers
Repetitive
with their
strain
knees.
injury.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be...
They used to get ex dancers to do it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's crazy.
And they were made of wood. They looked like metal, but they were made of wood.
Oh, I thought you meant the people inside.
Yeah, so did I. So did I.
They've got no soul.
Yeah, yeah.
They are.
They can treat them however they want to because they were
Well,
Pinocchio
Nazis
people.
are made of wood.
Yeah,
That's-
they are.
People don't understand that. But the way to tell a Nazi is to see if they float.
Or if they burn.
Or if you
I
hit a
knew
nail
somebody was
into
gonna
one.
say it.
Yeah, sorry.
So
Cut that.
please burn any Nazis you see. Like, I know this is a controversial topic, but
Yeah.
D4WH
Well, we stand by
burn Nazis.
Right, and we would just like to say to the alt-right,
Yeah.
Burn
nothing.
Nazis.
Burn Nazis, yeah, that's pretty much it.
If
Let's
you're a
get
Nazi
going.
and you're listening to this episode, fucking stop it.
I'm on the fence, actually. I don't know.
What, about Nazis?
Yeah.
Get off the fence and spread wood.
Yeah. On one side, you've got, civil rights and everything. On the other side, you've got genocide. So it's very difficult to understand.
But if you stay on the fence, you might get more ticket sales.
Well, that's what we've done wrong.
If you're a group of Nazis and you want to come to our show, fucking don't, all right?
Well, you won't be happy, let's put it that way.
In comparison, the TARDIS is a rinky-dink little blue box from the 60s, inconspicuous in most human locations, but still instantly recognisable to Whovians and the general public alike. However, looks can be deceiving. It is a lavish ship, bigger on the inside, with any number of rooms that can be tailored to your wishes. You only have to contend with being constantly in danger of the whole universe being destroyed, and sometimes your captain and best friend will change their entire appearance and may forget who you are.
Nah, it happens.
As you do, like in a Winnebago, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I hate it when David wakes up and goes, who the hell are you? I go, oh, God, this again. Let's go through it.
You have that thing of 50 first dates where you have to keep reminding him every day who you are.
Pretty much.
Without Adam Sandler.
He says, who am I and why am I wearing this ankle bracelet?
I love the thought of you coming home with a motorhome and David saying, what the hell is it? How are we going to fit all our stuff? It's bigger on the inside.
baby.
That's actually not.
It's a Winnebago. But some of them,
it's smaller
they
on the
open
inside.
up. They open up and things,
Absolutely.
that
No,
moment.
I've been looking into it. My girlfriend wants a
I want one too.
motorhome for some reason.
Fucking
I don't know
cars.
where.
You're not up for don't home, Nico? Why?
No.
No. I need luxury. I need space. I don't camp.
No, neither do I. I hate camping.
Last time I went camping, I was the only male with like 3 women, and I did everything. I pitched the tent, unpacked everything. Then it bloody pissed down rain. I ended up sleeping in the mud, and then I had to pack up in the rain. And then when you get home, this is the great thing about camping, is you've got to unpack everything up again and dry it out and clean it.
Oh, yeah. That's true. That's true.
Never understand.
Everywhere I go, it's with 3 women. It's just everywhere.
It's in my rider. Wherever I go, I need 3 women.
I love
there.
how you started that story. Last time I went camping, it was with 3 women because I'm fucking popular.
Their names were Trixie Belle, Bambi,
I paid them all.
Shaniqua, and Chastity.
Now, your time on the TARDIS may end up with you being killed by weird and wacky alien races. You may be abandoned nowhere near your home.
Yep.
You may end up in a parallel dimension. Or you may simply never remember your time on the TARDIS at all.
And that is the worst. That is the worst way
You may
for
have
a
to have your
companion
memory
to leave.
wiped.
Is to have their memory
So what?
wiped.
They can wipe
that's
their whole
upsetting.
time.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like you could spend like season 10 on the show, and then like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Catherine Tate was on the show as a companion, Donna.
Yeah.
She had her memory wiped.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, it was awful.
It's like, hey, I hope you've enjoyed your time on the TARDIS. We're just going to give you a pill you're going to forget everything, but just remember it was fun while it lasted.
At least one of the companions has tried to hook up with the Doctor, and the Doctor's been like, no, we don't do that here. So she ended up hooking up with her husband anyway.
Yeah, which was
Wow.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Her fiancé at the time.
Yeah.
When she was trying to
But there is
get
an
into the
episode
Doctor's
where
pants.
she's basically like, you brought me onto the TARDIS in my nightie, wouldn't let me get changed, so when are we going to have sex?
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, no, we're not going to do that.
Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So the Doctor
So
can have
they
sex.
Yeah. Good question, Adam.
They haven't shown it on the show yet.
Yeah.
Hoping for
Yet.
that season 12, but...
He's got, she has got 2 hearts, and I think in the male, what else have they got 2 of? Is the thing that you know.
That's what I'll, yeah. That's what,
Huh?
or 4 of, in the way of testicles.
or one of each.
Oh,
What
my
about one of
Lord.
each?
One of
Just
each.
getting
There you
cut.
go, there you go.
You could not. What? I tell you couldn't wear it if you had 2
Don't
of.
assume the Doctor's,
Yeah.
identity.
That's right.
But people do. When they announced the female Doctor, they were like, no, he's always a man. And it's like, oh, really? This alien character that can regenerate 12 times, you think has to be male?
That's my first question. Does the Doctor have things?
Yeah. There hasn't been an episode where the Doctor's like, here, check out my junk, and like rip
Yeah.
their pants
should
off.
be.
and-
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
I was doing my research, the only one who, for me, that seemed like an alien was Matt Smith.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought
he
he
kind
was
of came across
wonderful.
Yeah, no, he seems
Yeah.
really good in the role,
Yeah.
but he seems like he could be an alien.
I always thought he was
For sure.
very much like the 4th Doctor, Tom Baker, with the curly brown hair and the big googie eyes. He always looked like he could have been an alien. I think he's the one that scared you, is he?
Yeah.
Mr.
Brown
Perm.
hair. It's not a perm.
Let's not bring him up again, please.
He's my favourite Doctor.
He's everyone's favourite Doctor.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's got to be from the classics.
Yeah, because he's...
I think.
Oh, it's just because of that terrible scarf, I think.
Oh, yeah.
That's the big eyes got me.
I thought he was going to strangle me.
You could take off all his clothes, but it'd take you forever to get that scarf off, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Who was the one after him? I liked him. He was like blonde and...
Peter Davidson.
Peter
Yeah,
Davidson.
that dude, yeah, I liked him.
That's the one I'm in a photo with.
Yeah. We have it sitting there watching us.
And it's
Everywhere
with
you go, the
Tegan.
eyes look.
The first Australian and the only Australian companion.
So is everyone over the whole female Doctor thing now? Like, is everyone happy?
No.
No.
Really?
Oh, no.
Because she seems cool.
Yeah, she's great. She's fantastic.
Yeah, but I think they're not watching it.
What?
Or they're watching it to pick out, like, what was it? The end, the Revelation one, the one with the Dalek at the
Resolution,
end.
yeah.
Resolution. And they thought it was about how single fathers
Yeah.
suck. And it was all about Daleks, from what I could tell.
Because one of the characters, the reason he's living with his grandmother is because his dad kind of goes off. But then Ryan explains why his dad went off, and it's basically his mum died and the dad couldn't deal with it, so he went to go earn money to send to Ryan. And it's like, as far as deadbeat dads go, that's not the worst thing that's
No,
ever
that
happened in the
sounds-
world, you know.
that sounds-
But
Unless he killed her.
well, they haven't mentioned that.
If he killed her, that's pretty. That's
yeah.
That's
That'd be
pretty
super
deadbeat.
dark.
Yeah. Not really a kiddie show, then, is it?
And then Ryan has to kill his dad.
I'm looking forward to that story.
Yeah,
huh?
tonight on Hannibal.
Yeah. Patricide.
TARDIS stands for time and relative. Fucking hell.
I don't remember an F being in TARDIS.
Time and relative distance in
silent.
space.
Silent.
Is that what it is?
Time and relative dimension in
Oh,
space.
dimension
Very
in
close,
space.
very close. Good on you.
I was cramming last night.
Well, it can sometimes be called dimensions.
Yeah.
So, and it didn't have a name, really.
Well, Susan, the Doctor's granddaughter, mentions that she came up with the acronym.
That's it.
Although various other Time Lords and ladies have also used the name TARDIS, even without the Doctor mentioning it first, suggesting that it's a common title.
Yes. Well, it's a Type 4 TARDIS.
Yeah.
It's like a Tirana.
It wasn't until later episodes of the show that it was decided to change TARDIS from the name of the Doctor's ship, like Star Trek's Enterprise, to an entire class of ships used by the Time Lords, like the Constitution class from Star Trek. Yeah, so originally it was just going to be this unique ship that the Doctor used, but then as the show went on, they went, nope, other people have got TARDISes, you know.
And I think it's good to show that because then you've got like the Master's TARDIS that always, the chameleon circuit works.
Yeah.
So it always blends in with wherever it lands. But the Doctor's is always just a police box from the 1960s.
Yeah.
If we have
I
time,
love
we'll
that.
talk about that, yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Marketing genius.
It is, isn't
It
it?
is. It's great.
And you know they did it because it's a budget thing. It was just easier to have the one, not have different.
I was saying to Adam,
ships.
one thing I remember from when I watched it was that they had a prop which was like a deflated beach ball, and I just remember, I don't know what it was, but I was like, they were sort of trying to say that it was like, some sort of alien thing. Like, no, that's just a beach ball.
That's so funny. Yeah, that kind of scared me too. The budget restrictions in the 80s
and the plunger, on the
because they use regular objects and they call them aliens, and it's like, okay, I can't go into my kitchen anymore without thinking I'm being surrounded by monsters.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
This whisk and this plunger on the Dalek will kill you.
There's one episode where there's this massive war between the Daleks and these people, and they're like, oh, look at all the old technology, like guns from the Civil War and stuff. It must mean that the war's been going on so long they have to use old stuff. And it's like, no, they just fucking raided the friggin' wardrobe at the BBC, and they were like, that'll do.
It's a reenactment.
They just finished War and Peace, and they went, hang on.
That's so
and they were like, what does the Doctor go
up
up in this one scene where he has to go through a tunnel? I don't know, those foam clams over there. Chuck them in, they'll do. There's literally 2 scenes where he friggin' gets his foot stuck in a clam, and it's like, what is going on?
That is not a euphemism.
No.
Has the new Doctor seduced anyone yet?
No, she's very asexual from what we can tell. So Graham is the name of Bradley Walsh's character from The Chase.
Yes, The Chase,
They had to pretend to be married at some point, and he puts his arm around her, and the look on her face is like, what the hell's he doing?
Oh, wow. Yeah,
I like that about her.
She hasn't even spent a whole episode talking about her periods, like all the naysayers were worried about.
Yeah.
If I was hanging
It's
around
coming.
with the guy from The Chase 24/7, I'd probably be asexual too. Just putting it out there. But
Hello, love. Do you want to be my wife?
But you know what? I love that show. He's great on that show.
He's a great character.
He was great on Law and Order UK. He was fantastic.
I'll have to check
on
that out. Yeah.
Recent companion Bill Potts once pointed out the acronym Time and Relative Dimension in Space only really works in English, so it probably doesn't stand for the same words in ancient Gallifreyan.
No, probably not. But then Susan, the Doctor's granddaughter, she loved Earth. She was the one who kept bringing him back here.
Yeah.
The original Doctor, he wasn't as keen. Then she came up with the acronym, so she came up with it in English.
And the first Doctor kidnapped Ian and Barbara.
Kidnapped his first companions.
I watched a video on YouTube about the worst things the Doctor's ever done. And he basically kidnaps them. Susan's like, please let them go. Yeah. And he's like, no, they'll be coming with us. It's like, Jesus Christ.
He's really quite dark when he first starts. Yeah.
He's like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Oh,
Yeah.
what's the guy in
Willy
Charlie?
Wonka.
Willy
Willy
Wonka.
Wonka. Yeah, it's not Charlie. Charlie's not the evil one, is he?
No. Well, he will become, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he will.
It could be argued that the TARDIS is translating multiple different words into numerous languages, and yet makes it all sound like the word TARDIS. Because it should be pointed out the TARDIS also psychically links with its occupants and allows them to understand the spoken and written alien language of the people they encounter, except sometimes when it doesn't.
Yeah. Well, look, it does most of the time.
Yeah, except when the plot requires them not to understand.
Yeah. Well, that's not often.
That's what I do sometimes when I forget someone's name.
Yeah.
I just,
The
what's that?
TARDIS isn't translating.
Yeah. It's really embarrassing.
There's a lot of buses driving by. I can't hear a
I
thing.
can't hear a thing, yeah. Hey, big fella, I see that one a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, you.
Hey, sexy. Oh, no, that's you and I.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The translation plot point also seems to work if the TARDIS is nowhere near the Doctor and their companions, such as the 13th Doctor being able to understand alien bounty hunter Jim Jar in season 11 whilst her TARDIS was stuck on another planet and lost in time.
Oh, yes, good pickup.
And the 4th Doctor being able to understand the Daleks, Davros, Khaleds and Thals, even though the TARDIS was not only halfway across the galaxy, but also in the far future.
Well, the Doctor is multi-talented, and I do believe that not being a Gallifreyan yourself and not understanding the science of the TARDIS.
What's a Gallifreyan, sorry?
Oh, that's where the Doctor's
Is that his
from.
species?
Yeah, that's his race of alien.
And the
Gallifreyan.
Daleks, what are their species? Is Dalek the species?
Backwards. So they're Daleks now, but they were Khaleds.
Right.
And that's what happens when you call something a Dalek and then have to use an anagram of that to try and come up with the original name of their species.
Khaled.
Khaled, that'll do. Ugh.
It's backwards, it'll do.
Sorry, you guys are rambling on Gallifrey and some.
Oh, okay. No, good to ask.
What
so,
started first, Scientology or Doctor Who?
Whovianism, I'm
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
sure.
It's very similar.
Yeah, well, they
Well,
say
we're
there
hoping
are...
that you'll join our cult after this.
Yeah, they say there are 3 levels of cults for Star Trek. There's Star Trek fans, there's Trekkies, and there's Scientologists. So there you go.
Oh my God.
I've just insulted Scientology.
And
Tom
Star Trek.
Cruise is the biggest Star Trek fan in the world.
Is he really?
I don't know, because he's a Scientologist.
Yeah.
He's a Scientologist.
He's like the top Scientologist.
He's like Kirk.
He believes it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fact. That's like,
When he married Katie Holmes, they sat her down and went, okay, watch the fuck out of these Star Trek movies.
This is pretty much what we believe.
Going to be on the test.
I've been brainwashed.
No, I'm not.
Poor Katie Holmes.
I'm just looking at
What a
it.
career move.
Oh yeah.
It was a bad one, wasn't it?
Can I sidetrack?
Yeah.
The rumor was like she got knocked up by someone else, so that they quickly sort of pushed her onto Tom Cruise and got him married up, so that he's not gay and had.
Oh, yeah. I love. I still think the best one is the South Park episode where it's come out of the closet.
And she had like a contract for whatever 10 years or whatever, and then pretty much soon as that was up, bang, she's
Wow.
out
Really?
there.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
That's
crazy.
hardcore.
I get all
wish
my news
this
from New Idea.
podcast was about
Tom Cruise.
Dawson's Creek. I know a lot about Dawson.
I watched Dawson's Creek back in the day.
I did too. I hate this.
I didn't, but I did like Pacey.
So much exposure.
I like the
Oh,
actor who
Pacey,
played
the
Pacey.
student who slept with his teacher.
He's been in a few shows since that I quite like.
Although we can excuse the scriptwriters not wanting to come up with a new alien language every time the Doctor meets a new species.
Yeah.
The 12th Doctor once told Osgood that TARDIS stands for Totally and Radically Driving in Space. Although it's pretty obvious that was a joke.
That would have been the 12th Doctor?
Yeah. Old
Yeah.
dad joke, Doctor.
Yeah.
Totally. Was that a reference to Bill and Ted's or something?
No, I don't know. I think
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
It's
Maybe.
just a joke they put in.
Didn't you watch the research material last night?
I'm sorry,
man.
man.
Although they're making Bill and Ted 3.
I never saw the first two. I'm sorry. I know. That's a weird.
You grew up
statement.
in the 80s and you
I
didn't
know.
watch Bill and Ted.
I watched Wayne's World, but I never got to Bill and Ted's.
I'm the same with you. I watched,
it's weird.
watched one Wayne's World. I never watched any Bill
The
and
second
Ted.
was terrible.
Oh, there you go.
But the first one was great. Yeah,
I do remember seeing some clip where they met Heather Lockyer and they say the Lord's Prayer. Our Father art in heaven, Heather be thy name.
Oh yeah,
I always remember that for some reason.
that's great.
But yeah, they're making a third Bill and Ted. I am so excited.
I'll have to watch it. I'll have to go back and watch.
In the second one, they basically fight death. It's pretty.
That is the best. That is the best part of it.
Yeah,
where
yeah.
they cheat him like 2 out of 3. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The TARDIS has also been referred to on the show as a capsule, a time ship, and the ghost monument.
I like the fact that he often has companions like Donna, Catherine Tates, who just were really disappointed in the TARDIS, that it didn't look like what they thought a good spaceship should look like.
yeah,
And then
right.
the companion, Billy Piper's companion, Rose, she was upset that the Doctor, she didn't think he was Star Trekky enough, not Spock enough.
That's great.
So
I love that.
she gives his name as Mr. Spock to someone because
Yeah,
she doesn't
yeah.
want to just call him the Doctor.
I was really intrigued by the fact where they got the design for the TARDIS from.
Well,
From nature, and trying to... Isn't it made from a cutting or something like that?
Yeah, so that you
like
can grow
You can
TARDIS.
grow a
Yeah.
TARDIS?
basically,
Yeah, that's weird.
yeah.
There's kind of sentient beings. They've got their own consciousness, and they get impaired with the driver. So imagine buying your first car and being like, oh, I'll just impair it with you, and like, oh, I want to keep this car for the rest of my life. I want to get a new car later on,
I'm
right?
sorry, it's yours for life.
It's time to upgrade.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
your car is just despondent, being like, where's my owner?
But I like the fact that they didn't go digital with it too. They were talking about they resisted going a digital look or anything like that. It looks more organic. I like that. That's cool.
I do too, and I remember when we were in the UK and went to Earl's Court, and there was an old police box, and I was so excited.
Oh, that's great. great.
I'm trying to get in.
So good.
Have any police actually tried to enter the police box?
One of the companions ends up in the TARDIS by thinking it's an actual police
Yeah,
box.
that's true. That's
And
that's
she
Tegan.
just goes inside and finds the TARDIS, basically.
And then wanders around, gets lost. She's kind of a stowaway without wanting to be a stowaway. So, yeah, that was Tegan. And I know that the sixth Doctor, Colin Baker's Doctor, he had the blonde curly hair and the outrageously red coat, the weird 80s colours, if anyone ever saw him. He did fix the TARDIS a couple of times, we tried to, where it's supposed to blend into its surroundings.
Yes.
But it turned into a monument. It turned into an organ. All things that it shouldn't have done. So it went back to being the TARDIS. So, But I remember us watching it and thinking, don't you change my TARDIS.
Don't you dare.
Oh, I was really cross at the time.
Yeah. We'll have a female doctor. Don't you dare touch that police box.
Well, her first episode, the TARDIS was missing. She had to go find her TARDIS in the second episode.
Cool. The geeks had stolen it. So you will not get a TARDIS.
Adam and I had it here.
Yeah. Each geek got it for a certain amount of time, then we had to give it back to the Doctor. But the TARDIS door actually has a lock on it, so usually you can't open it without the lock.
People try to use the phone, but it doesn't work.
That's pretty cool, though.
Also, so if a regular person comes and they can sort of unlock the TARDIS and it actually has a door and it's actually a phone box inside.
Or the door's
Unless you
locked,
have, like,
so they can't get in.
okay.
Yeah.
But you can, there's a little, like a little heart or quarter door, and you open it up and it's got a phone there. So they used to ring for help, and then they'd put prisoners in the box, the real ones, and then
that's
they'd
funny.
wait till they came.
Yeah. Oh, the original police boxes would always be unlocked, so you could go in, hide in there, and lock it from the inside if someone was chasing you, or the police could come, put a prisoner in there, lock it up, and then
Until someone came to get them.
Yeah. What if someone wants to make a phone call? I
don't think it had it didn't have numbers for you to dial. I think it just went directly to the phone thing.
Yeah.
Can you put me through to Domino's? No, this is the police station.
Anyone who enters a phone box these days looks like a criminal.
Yeah.
That's where drug deals happen, you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I left my phone home the other day.
That's all they're used for now.
Yeah,
Oh,
I left
no
my
idea.
phone at home the other day, and I had to call my girlfriend, and
Reminder that you're
and
alive.
I said to her,
'cause she doesn't care where you're going.
yeah. And I said this feels like a drug deal. There's
really?
nothing. What else would you use one of these phones for other than being stupid and leaving your phone at home?
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you changed into your Superman outfit and you left.
Yeah. Took my money and got
Which
out.
is weird now because they're not fully, there's no doors on them anymore.
No. Yeah, it's weird. So you're having a conversation with your girlfriend and everyone else.
Yeah, pretty
in
much.
line.
While
It's
taking
great.
your clothes off and
Good
putting on your
times.
Superman outfit.
Absolutely.
It's all creepy to me.
Yeah.
I didn't know that that's what they're for now, drug deals.
They've always been for that.
I don't know that.
I've always been for that.
Yeah.
That's where you get your drugs from, isn't it, Nico?
Just the phone box, you ring up and they pop out.
That's how you. That's how I distribute them.
Good to know, good to know.
Thanks for bringing those drugs.
They're disgusting though, the phones.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
I had to wipe it on my
wouldn't-
sleeve before I...
And then I hope you burnt the sleeve.
I had a mate who notoriously, you might want to cut this out, he would always, if he had to take a leak, he'd pick up the phone and then just take a piss in the box.
Oh, Jesus.
That's why they always stunk.
Okay. I try to make phone calls in urinals, but
I don't know what's worse.
It's just soothing to be talking and peeing at the same
actually,
time.
you know what? And I don't mean to be crass, but it is disgusting when you're in a public bathroom
it happens
and
at
you
work
hear
all the time.
someone and they've got diarrhea and they're on the phone with their girlfriend at the same time and you're thinking, what is going on here? Is this...
They
Yeah.
have some sick fetishes.
There are some...
Especially when you go, look, I don't think I'm well. I'll send you a photo.
That's guys that do that.
I actually purposely kept flushing the chain so that she knew he was definitely in the toilet.
And she was like, oh, yeah, keep flushing that chain.
Who's that beside you? You must have really bad sort of diarrhea. Who fucking does that?
I know, but it was so weird because I'm thinking if I can hear this,
Yeah.
she can
Yeah.
definitely fucking hear it.
Yeah.
It is disgusting.
Yeah, it happens at work whenever I go to the bathroom. Someone in the other stalls will be on their phone or the phone will ring and I'll be like, oh my God, are you serious? That's
really?
disgusting.
When they come out, do you just give them a death stare? Just
No,
I know exactly what
either
you're
make sure I
doing in
leave
there.
before them or let them leave and then, because I don't want to know who it is, you know?
Yeah, that's a weird thing, isn't it?
Yeah, like I was in the bathroom once washing my hands and I saw one of the other guys come out of the bathroom and just walk straight out without washing his hands.
They all
And
do it.
ever since then, I'm just like, oh,
I'm
that
not
guy,
shaking your hand.
yeah.
I had to be somewhere, but it's a weird thing. Hey, I try and get out of there when I hear someone flushing the chain in the toilet. I'm like, I'm out.
I don't even like it when I'll be
I don't like
at
a
the
meet and
urinal next to someone I know and they'll start talking to me and it's like, no.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I'm not a male.
Me too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. My bladder would probably explode before I would use a urinal.
yeah.
Screw that.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, so why does the TARDIS a highly...
Oh, we're talking about Doctor Who. That's right. Sorry, guys.
Well, Doctor Who, the TARDIS could have a urinal.
Yeah, so how does the Doctor piss?
Can we wrap this up? I need to
This
go.
is the end of our piss kink podcast. Okay, let's continue.
This is the end of our Piss King podcast.
Does the TARDIS have a toilet?
Well, you would expect so. It's got bins.
It's got a
It's
pool.
got bins, it's got a pool, a
That's
library.
If it doesn't have the toilet, just use the pool.
You know what?
got a boot cupboard.
It's only got a pool because they had that. And this is me doing research on YouTube, but I saw someone had to land in the TARDIS.
Oh, but we've seen the pool a couple of times, though.
Yeah.
And
But-
it's like the what did Batman have in the 50s or whatever?
Oh, utility belts.
Utility
Yeah.
belt,
Oh,
and it just
yeah.
had everything in it, shark
Yeah.
spray,
Shark
and stuff
repellent.
like that. And it's
I want shark
even as a
repellent.
kid, I said to my dad, "That is rubbish. How can anyone?"
Lazy writing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like.
anyone in a cape is
Oh,
an
does
idiot
anyone
anyway.
need shaving cream? I've got it in the.
Yeah.
Can someone reach from my back pocket?
Oh shit! Sorry, I gave you the shark attacking cream.
Yeah.
Whoops.
So why does the TARDIS, a highly sophisticated piece of advanced alien technology, look like a blue police box? In the show, it's explained that a TARDIS blends into the surroundings of wherever the crew lands.
No, it doesn't.
Unfortunately, after landing in 1963 London, the chameleon circuit of the Doctor's TARDIS broke. It's commonly assumed that this means it's always a police box. Now, I've got a bit of a quote. Do you want to read that quote for me, please? The Ninth Doctor states...
The TARDIS is meant to disguise itself wherever it lands. Like if this was ancient Rome, it'd be a statue on a plinth or something. But I landed in the 1960s. It disguised itself as a police box, and the circuit got stuck.
Now, I thought that means it's a police box all the time.
So apparently, this is what I can remember from the history. It wasn't until they landed in 1963. It annoyed the first Doctor a lot. It was then called, not cloaking, it was called something else. It wasn't called a chameleon
Camouflage
circuit.
unit.
Camouflage. It's been called a few things. The fourth Doctor was the first one to call it the chameleon circuit, and the first one to sort of talk about getting it fixed. Although the third
Well,
Doctor
the
too.
first person to call it a chameleon unit was radio play in the 60s. Someone called it a chameleon unit.
Well, in the TV show, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it was either third or fourth
Yeah,
Doctor.
third or fourth Doctor, I believe.
Because the Master tried to fix the TARDIS for him. I wouldn't trust the Master doing anything. And he's kind of got used to it and he likes it.
Be like asking your worst enemy, hey, can you fix the brakes on my car? Oh, yeah, sure, mate, I'll do
Absolutely.
that. Yeah. Hope I remember how to fix them.
Yeah, the frenemy. Get your frenemy.
However, the 11th Doctor states, every time the TARDIS materialises in a new location, within the first nanosecond of landing, it analyses its surroundings, calculates a 12-dimensional data map of everything within a 1,000-mile radius, and then determines which outer shell would blend in best with the environment, and then disguises itself as a police box from the 1963.
I always love that line.
That's great.
So that would suggest that the chameleon circuit is basically still working,
Yeah.
but it's just stuck on a police box.
Yeah. And I think he has to fix it. There's been episodes around when he was trying to fix it, like with the sixth Doctor trying to do it. But yeah, you would never change it. It's like you wouldn't change the theme song, or you wouldn't change the Dalek.
Yeah.
I would change the theme song. I would just
You would change it to things like "It's all right, it's a safe place."
No,
Stephen."
it's of an era, obviously.
And then the Daleks would appear like, oh, Jesus Christ!
Get something.
Really? Is it
Get
the-
something timeless,
Yeah.
jazz or I don't know.
As time goes by.
What's that?
As time goes by.
Kimber the White Lion theme song? Ooh,
Yeah.
double bingo.
There you go.
I don't know if... Yeah, no, I don't have a solution, but...
Boom, boom.
Well, actually, my solution is anything but that.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather...
I've got a solution.
What?
Some 90s hip hop.
Oh.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Yo, motherfucker, come watch Doctor Who. Yo, motherfucker, gonna give it to you. Doctor Who. Doctor what? Doctor Who.
Why haven't I
Great.
muted your mic yet?
Yeah. If they did that, I think I would cry for a year. That would really break my heart. Particularly if they picked up that shit Adam was just doing. That would break my heart.
The
That
dude
wasn't
Doctor Who
90s
material.
hip-hop, by the way.
Oh.
I don't know what that was.
A desperate
Thanks-
cry
thanks,
for help.
guys.
I think
Thanks,
you
guys.
could do a bit more because I prefer the 80s. So a bit more of the 80s sort of techno thing.
yeah.
A bit of Tainted Love, a bit of
Yeah, that's...
Spandau Ballet.
Yeah.
I think that'd be
Too
good.
Unlimited or,
Yeah.
Yeah, Kid K.
Yeah, or a little bit of ska music from the 80s.
Sound,
Ba,
yeah.
ba, ba, da, da, Doctor Who, ba, 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 da, da, ba, da, ba, Doctor Who, ba, 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 da, 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 Doctor Who.
Stop.
Doesn't really set the tone for what you're going to be watching.
Yeah. You
I
kinda
would
need-
s- I would
see what
say-
you're saying with the techno and everything. Yeah.
That song, it makes, as much as it makes you scared, it still makes me excited and feel like I'm 10. As soon as it
Yeah,
comes on, I'm
sure.
like a little kid.
I wouldn't change this. I'd change the TARDIS. Like, if they were smart.
Do you even care about my feelings, Nikki?
No. Look, your girlfriend doesn't care where you go. Why should I?
They shouldn't change it to an infinite
It's
number.
like Doctor Who? Yeah, exactly.
But change it like 5, like let it change into, it can only change into 5 different things now. So now we can sell, a police box,
Very good.
That's a good idea.
a Beetle, like a Volkswagen Beetle, I don't know, whatever,
That'd be
a
cool.
rock.
The one that, I think it's been a Boulder, actually.
Get a partnership with Volkswagen to be a Beetle,
Well, they've just stopped production, so...
Oh, no, well.
That's right. Whatever's going to happen to the Herbie franchise. Herbie rides again. Herbie
goes
comes
bananas.
back. Herbie goes
Lindsay.
bananas.
Herbie comes
Lindsay
again.
Lohan is really waiting for that Herbie reboot again,
Well,
isn't
she wasn't the original Herbie.
No, I know,
girl.
but they're not going to get the original girl.
I saw Herbie Goes Bananas at the drive-in at the Sunshine Coast when I was
funny.
a kid.
And you're like, how come my car doesn't go bananas?
What's a drive-in?
Yeah. Well, I'm 653, so I remember.
I miss driving past the drive-in at...
Going, I should
Yeah,
do
well,
that one
I
day.
wasn't driving, but I miss going past the one... There was one
Yatla?
at Capera.
Oh, compare, yeah.
And we'd be
They were
driving
everywhere.
over, and it's the saddest thing when you're not going to the movies and you see Batman on the big screen, and you're like, I'd love to be in there.
Yeah.
But it's so cool because you can't
How
hear
do
it.
people
you just see...
you could accidentally see a spoiler to a movie driving past?
Well,
Oh,
They don't
absolutely.
usually put new movies on. They just replay.
Oh no,
old
they
ones.
did back then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
back before
you were born.
Nowadays, like,
yeah. Before you were born,
Yeah.
and we had station wagons and panel
fantastic.
vans.
Let's that's another bingo thing on there. Make Rebecca feel inferior for being 10 years younger than everyone in the room.
Oh God, don't feel inferior. I feel inferior for being older.
Oh, really?
Definitely. Oh, absolutely. Because
I just feel smug.
No, because I haven't gotten any smarter. So
Oh, no, nor have
And
I.
when
That's-
Steve said Batman on big screen, he didn't mean Batman Begins. He meant they
Yeah,
previously put
Actually-
Batman up on a screen. Look, Wikipedia,
Yeah.
it's fine,
Yeah.
it's fine.
it was the Michael Keaton one.
Yeah.
I liked him. Sorry.
Now
And our Batman podcast.
Michael Keaton's an actor, right? He was the Vulture in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yeah.
It's probably where you know him from.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, well,
great
you
movie.
wouldn't know him.
Yeah.
I know, Tobey Maguire was the original.
Yeah, Batman.
I'm gonna fucking walk in a second.
He was exceptionally young. I thought.
When they announced Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, I got a little bit excited because I liked him in other things. I think he was in what's that Ice thing? Anyway, he was in independent films and whatnot.
yeah.
But I thought he's too miserable to be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And turns out he was.
Yeah, and then Spider-Man 3 came along and you're like, oh, perfect. Miserable.
Yeah, he was
Both
depressing.
the character and the entire fucking movie.
Yeah.
Miserable.
Yeah.
Which is annoying because Spider-Man, he's one of my favourite superheroes because he's cute.
Oh,
and-
absolutely.
And
He's
quirky.
great.
Everyone likes it.
Yeah.
You know, he's not like Batman. It's just like, oh, God, my
I
life
like
is awful.
Batman too.
Oh, really? He's
Yeah.
so moody.
I
wanna
kind of
slap
like
the
that.
shit out of
him.
I
Being
relate
rich.
to Moody.
Really? You like Moody?
Oh, no, I
Yeah.
relate to it because I am Moody.
He's also a billionaire.
Ah, you?
Yeah.
Sorry.
My girlfriend's going to hear this and go, yeah,
Oh,
him.
well, we know we've got one listener then, your girlfriend. Fantastic. All right.
Absolutely.
Would she like a ticket? Come and see the live show.
I love that bit in Batman Begins where he has to pretend to be a billionaire and he's like, well, I have to pretend to hang out with these two hot models.
yeah,
And it's
right.
like, yeah, gee, must be real difficult, mate.
Yeah. That's a stretch, isn't it?
Speaking of the Met, in 1996...
We weren't speaking of the Met.
we were previously, we did
Sorry,
before.
can I
No, that's
sidetrack you?
fine.
Oh, I missed it.
In 1996, after producing merchandise featuring the TARDIS since the 70s, the BBC decided to officially register as a trademark of the BBC. However, the Metropolitan Police Service, which polices London and its boroughs, took issue with this.
What?
They argued that because the TARDIS is based on the blue police boxes, they should own the trademark for the TARDIS as well.
Gosh.
The trial lasted for 6 years.
What?
Yeah, finally finishing in 2002 in the BBC's favour.
Wow.
Yeah, it took them 6 years to decide.
I had no idea that that went on. Wow.
The Met was ordered to pay the BBC £850 plus legal costs.
£850.
Yep, plus legal costs, so that would be
Oh,
shitload.
A billion.
Yeah,
$3
yeah.
million.
Yeah.
£3,850,000,000.
The courts found that even though London had 685 police boxes in 1953, any reputation that they had in the public's eye since was related to policing and law enforcement and wouldn't have extended into the areas that the BBC was applying for a patent of.
I don't know. Even I wasn't born then.
So didn't extend into sci-fi and...
Well, and also, people would have forgotten, I think, about the police box had it not been for Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I think that's what makes it iconic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So people it would have been some sort of weird, did you know? But it wouldn't be what it is now.
I wouldn't have known about it.
No.
Well, since the invention of
I wouldn't
walkie-talkies,
have.
basically the police boxes have been going... There've been fewer and fewer police boxes. So even though there were still police boxes in the 50s and 60s, they weren't being used as much because you could just go to the police station or grab a police officer and he could just call up the police station.
I always hate it when people think the London Red phone box is the TARDIS.
Oh, okay.
That drives me nuts.
That's what I did. I went to London just as I was getting
that's
into
funny.
Doctor Who, and I was like, "Oh, look, it's the thing!" And I took a picture with the.
Oh, that's funny.
And then realised-
Did you put it on the Doctor Who blogspot or whatever?
No. Well, I don't even think I had a Facebook back then, and I just.
That's so funny.
Oh, look! I got a picture of that thing from Doctor
what
Who.
came first, Superman's change room or... You know, because he used to get changed in a phone box or
That'd be
whatever.
Superman.
It's Superman, because he
Yeah.
was what?
20s,
40s, 20s,
I think.
30s?
Yeah.
Yeah. He
And
was...
then the Doctor Who's 63, I think. So I think the first episode was aired the same day as President Kennedy was
Kennedy got
assassinated.
shot, yeah.
So they had to re-air it a week later because nobody saw it, obviously. It'd be like having something come out on 9/11, you know, and no one would have known.
No wonder I've got bad associations.
Yeah.
You're
So-
a huge Kennedy fan.
So can we mourn Kennedy for 1 week, please?
No, I'm sorry. We need Daleks out here.
The Daleks killed Kennedy.
Yeah, probably. Or the Cybermen.
But it's
Or
interesting.
Jim Jaw.
The reason I mentioned Superman, I know it started much earlier with the comics and everything, but you know how they introduce things
Yeah.
like
No, I thought he
every now and then.
always...
But yeah, he probably
he
always had
It
it.
would have been the first one because police boxes
Yeah.
were.
I can't tell you because I was reading Superman comics in the 70s. So, you know,
Wow.
he was in... Yeah, well, I was very advanced
Were
for
you-
6
I was
months.
gonna say, were you
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's continue.
Oh, she's
right.
bored,
Okay.
is she?
Oh, no.
Jesus.
You guys have just been sitting here talking about Superman for 5 minutes.
Oh,
though.
all right.
Sorry.
Hey, Adam, I thought you were in charge
Yeah,
of
that's
the
right.
podcast.
And now we're going to talk about Red Dwarf, and you're not allowed to talk. Hearing officer Mike Knight referred to the police telephone boxes as street furniture and noted that they were used by other precincts outside of London, meaning that the Met couldn't claim the sole trademark.
Ooh. You did. I honestly, look, I knew that there'd been a lot of legal to and fro with the Daleks because they're owned by Terrence Dicks. Terrence Dicks?
The TARDIS.
Yeah, who owns the Daleks?
The Daleks.
Terry Nation.
Terry Nation. God, I get him and Terrence Dicks mixed up all the time because they were both writers of Doctor Who.
Terry Nation.
Yeah, so I know that they'd had legal struggles with that, but
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realise that they had with the TARDIS.
Yeah.
No, Doctor Who is what made that famous and made it part of pop culture. So
I don't think anyone would have known if they would remember police boxes if it wasn't for Doctor Who. So.
No.
Me either. Me either.
Absolutely.
I think that maybe we need at some point to do an intervention with Steve here, with his fear of Doctor Who music, and I'm thinking, and Nico, tell me what you think as a guest. I'm going to lock him in the bathroom and play the Doctor Who theme song consistently for 3 hours and see what he's like.
What do they call that again? That's a psychological...
Torture. Yeah, psychological torture.
It's called helping your friends.
There's a...
Waterboarding.
No, but there's a...
I'll do that as well. Yeah.
But that's what they did at Guantanamo. They locked people up and played the Barney theme over and over again.
Barney?
Brainwashing or something.
Yeah.
I thought they played Maroon 5 or something like that.
Oh, they tried a bunch of different things, but one of them was the Barney theme
Nickelback.
song.
Yeah. Not even joking.
No.
God, that's scary.
Face your fear and do it anyway. Face your fear and hate it anyway.
You love me. I'll tell you everything.
Oh yeah, that song would drive me nuts. No, I think you need to get back into or introduce yourself to the world of Doctor Who.
Harmonise myself with the song. Yeah.
You don't want
Ease
to be
yourself
running
into it.
screaming.
First of all, listen to our theme song, which has got parts of the theme song in the thing.
Actually, the new episodes from 2005 onwards or whatever seem friendlier people and whatnot.
They are. I mean, they were friendly in the old days. But anywho.
Yeah, no. But to me, they look like...
Is that a bingo thing?
Yeah, that's a bingo thing.
Well, we can introduce it while you're talking on the podcast. We'll introduce the theme song so you don't, you get used to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I wanted to do that and then just keep you in the bathroom for another week.
Jesus,
Is that
can
okay?
you stop kidnapping our guests, please?
Why? You told me I could if I did a podcast with you.
I didn't say that at all. I didn't mean it, guys.
You said I could have people to play with and pets.
Let's turn into a Buffalo Bill situation.
It puts the lotion on.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Was she a great big fat guest?
I don't feel safe.
There are many different varieties of TARDISes. These include the battle TARDIS, used by the Time Lords as their machines of war, firing off time torpedoes. And that sentence is perhaps the most sci-fi sentence ever uttered.
Oh my God.
It's like Stan Lee came up with it. Excelsior! They have time torpedoes and they shoot Peter Parker there.
Can I bring something up?
Yeah.
This just totally puzzles me. So these guys are Time Lords, but their planet got destroyed. Is that correct? So no one was able to go back before this happened.
Well, they're not allowed to go back into their own time stream.
However, they did during the war.
Not even to save their planet?
So the Gallifrey is stuck in a time war. So they can't get in. It's basically locked from the rest of time.
Yeah, it is now. So the Doctor blew up everybody, killed them all to stop the Time War. So he's responsible for it.
So he is worse than the Nazis.
He killed the Nazis and the Time Lords.
Yeah.
He killed them all. He did it because the Time War kept going back in time and people kept dying and reliving and dying and reliving, and so it was destroying the universe. So he killed everyone.
So he killed everyone except for the Master and all his arch enemies.
He didn't know about the Master, and the Daleks keep popping up because reasons.
Yeah.
That's what I thought also. If you've got a TARDIS that can land anywhere, why not just land on top of a Dalek?
Well, that's a good idea. Although when the Doctor lands on someone, usually the TARDIS sort of goes around them, and they end up in the TARDIS.
Yeah.
And you don't want a Dalek looking at you in the TARDIS. Unless you've got some eggs you need whisking.
When the doctor sits on someone, it's always on a Dalek. You don't want a Dalek inside
why
you.
can't he do the
because
Ant-Man
it's
thing?
bigger on the inside.
Yeah, why can't he do the Ant-Man where he sort of like, he shrinks down
That's what they
and then
tell
like
people.
goes inside him and then expands.
Ah, well then only the Master could do that because he's the only one who had a shrink ray.
Yeah.
He would shrink people a lot in the old series.
You know how you were mentioning Nazis?
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to hear the theme song over Nazi propaganda.
Wow.
That's the kind of... No, that's the kind of... That's the kind of...
Let's not.
I've
Please
just
don't make
offended. I've just offended every Doctor Who fan out there.
Yeah, you've offended
And
everybody.
every
pretty much.
Jewish
shit.
person.
Yeah.
that
The
likes
Nazis
Doctor
are
Who.
offended.
There's a very specific type of Doctor Who fan that is just loving this idea. And if you're listening, fucking stop.
They just came.
They did. They're out there putting that together.
Yeah.
I'm a big Doctor Who fan, don't you know? Anyway, just gonna go down into my bunker and watch some Doctor Who. Let me just take my pistol in case I need it.
I don't know who that was.
Bigger on the inside.
What? The Master didn't win this time? I'm going to kill myself.
Oh dear. That's funny. Right, well, any other fantastically radical ideas that could get us
Sorry,
kicked
I
off
have
the
to
air?
apologise. Have I got anything in this podcast?
No.
Your girlfriend doesn't care where you go. That's all we kept.
Yeah, Steve's here.
Let's end it with this. When do you guys think the word TARDIS was added to the Oxford English Dictionary? What year do you think that happened?
Ooh.
Place your bets.
I actually think it would have been a more recent occurrence because of the fanfare of Doctor Who, the resurgence and whatnot. I reckon last year.
Last year? Okay.
No, I'm going to say 1999.
I'm going to go with 1982.
Beck?
2013.
Oh, well, if we're playing by Price is Right rules, then Nico wins because it was 2002.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Only 3 years off. June 2002.
I wonder when Dalek made it.
That was actually no. Sonic Screwdriver was 2013. I don't know
Damn.
when
Wow.
So
You know what? Sonic Screwdriver, I heard that term for the first time last night, and that's a cool...
Yeah, it's basically a MacGuffin.
If you told me that was a garage band, I'd be like, yeah.
There is a band called Chameleon Circuit. That was
Wow,
and they
that's
make Doctor
cool.
Who themed music. Oh, not anymore.
And then there was the Time Lords that made their song Doctor in the TARDIS.
Oh yes,
Or the
Doctor Who. Hey, Doctor Who. Doctor Who.
Were they an Australian band or was it an English band?
English.
No, but there was an
I
Australian
thought.
band that also did a Doctor Who song.
And then Orbital has done
Yes,
a
that's
really
awesome.
great version of the theme song.
Wow.
And they did it at Glastonbury, and they had the 11th Doctor Matt Smith come out on stage
Wow.
and help with it. It was so cool.
Yeah, he just came out on stage and went, "I'm gay," and then went back in.
Yeah,
That was-
no,
I forgot to ask you,
Yeah.
who are the Angels? Not the band, like the...
the Weeping Angels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that because this
Why
is
do
my...
you ask?
Okay, this is...
Are you being followed by statues? Is that why you're asking?
Yeah,
No, because, I went to Comic-Con, because I'm a manga
Don't
fan.
be afraid.
Adam's coming out.
Yeah, don't be afraid. I love Comic Con. It's great.
come on, Nico, tell us.
I get
What were
hassled.
you dressed
I
as?
get hassled because I went to a dress-up party once as Darth Maul
sweet.
and scared the shit out of everyone. Everyone thinks I'm this, that sort of nerd, which I'm not.
Oh, they would have been so jealous. That's
anyway.
so bullshit.
But long story, so I went to the Comic-Con, and there's all these, weird chicks, dressed up in sort of, silver paint with wings. And I'm like, and I'm like, oh, and I asked them, are you some sort of weird, statue or angel? And they had the shits with me.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Because you didn't know.
I didn't know. I was like,
Oh, God, why
who
would
are
they
these-
have the
who-
shit?
Oh, because you should know.
yeah. So the angels basically don't blink. If you blink, they can only move if people aren't looking at them.
So they're statues.
Yeah, they're statues. It's basically like Stephen Moffat took the idea of all the statues around the world. What happens if they were alive?
So if you're not looking, they'll creep up on you and touch you, and they'll send you back in time completely displace you in time, and then they live off your
got a dad
potential
joke about
energy.
this too.
Oh, you've got a dad joke?
Yeah.
Got to hear it?
Did you hear what did one Kiwi statue say to the other one?
I don't know.
Statue, bro? You can edit that too. That's fucking terrible.
Did you see
It's a good dad joke.
Karen Gillan went to visit Stephen Moffat last week, and he has a weeping angel in his garden. So she took an Instagram video of her meeting the weeping angel in his garden.
I wondered why we hadn't heard from Karen Gillan for a while.
They are one of
that video.
One of the scariest Doctor Who episodes I've ever seen, and I've watched it a long time, even as a little kid, and wasn't scared. Except for Davros, the guy who created the Daleks, so he was spooky. But was Blink, which is a whole episode about these.
And they're the most
angels.
famous modern bad guys. So from the modern series, they're the most famous.
Oh, really?
They were created for the modern series by one of the who eventually became the showrunner.
Yeah, Stephen Moffat.
Yeah.
And they
I'll go
are
and watch that.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Blink.
Great
episode.
Cool.
All right, thank you very much. That's our episode on the TARDIS.
Thanks, man.
Any other questions?
Don't we get to sort of make up our doctor names?
Yeah, I'm about to
we're
ask
about
you.
to do that, but we've finished the bit about
I'm taking over this podcast.
Yeah.
What did you come up with one? I didn't know about
Have you listened to the podcast?
Yeah, I did a bit of research. So I
Oh,
listened to
Steve, how many episodes have you listened to?
I listened to Bowden and Claudia and Jenny, but I probably didn't get to the end. Oh, but I think it's
You listen to
great.
5 minutes, you're like, all right, I got the idea.
I got it.
Nerds talking.
No,
all right.
no, I actually think you are really professional
Oh,
and
you.
Thank
amazing.
How are they going to polish this turd, though?
Yeah. Buy
I
tickets
have
to
no
our show.
idea.
We polished every other turd that I'm on, so...
Yeah, buy tickets to our show.
I can
We'll
convince
do
you.
plugs in a minute, guys. Just fucking wait for it. Jesus, you've already
Yeah,
sold fucking
Nico,
20,
hold back.
20
Just come
tickets.
for half of it.
First up, what movie do you think would be improved by adding the Doctor as a character? Could be your favourite movie that you would want to see, a travelling Time Lord.
So my recent one was
You're at a
Aladdin.
little bit of a disadvantage because you don't know much about the Doctor because we talked about the TARDIS, but... Is there a movie, maybe just from one of you, that you would... Or it could be a bad movie that you think would be improved by adding a
How about Bill and Ted's?
Bill and Ted?
Put the Doctor in as what? Bill or Ted or part of it?
No.
He turns up as well.
Yeah, he could meet them.
That
I
would
like
be
it.
good.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that too.
What
Yeah.
about Bill and Ted? Thank you. Awesome.
What about The Room?
Oh, yeah.
God, yeah, that would be improved with a lot of things.
Hi, Doctor.
Oh, hi, doggy. Oh, hi, doggy.
K9.
Doctor, you're tearing me apart!
I did not hit her. I did not.
Doctor, I did not hit her.
Oh, hi, doctor.
Tommy Wiseau as the Doctor. Hi, Amy.
Well, I mean, he comes out of that door on the roof or
Yeah,
whatever. That
yeah.
could be the TARDIS.
The TARDIS.
Yeah.
Let's go outside to 16th century Paris and play football.
Now, everybody who comes on here, as Nico knows, is asked what is their Time Lord name. So your Time Lord name, the Doctor chose the Doctor because it's do no harm, Hippocratic Oath, do the best you can. So it's either something a word that describes you or it describes what you aim to be. So I'm the commander. My family gave me that name because I'm bossy. Adam's
The nerd.
the nerd.
Yeah.
Beck is
I've never had to say mine like Adam does. I'm just the artist.
just the artist.
Yeah.
She's the artist.
Who gave you that name? Yourself?
Me, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we give ourselves our own names.
boring.
Except for Nicchia, who got given it by her family.
Yeah, cruel, isn't it?
It's better when you get a name from someone else.
Well,
though.
that's true. I did work with a guy once who tried to tell everyone his nickname was Buzz, but no one called him Buzz but him. But he would sign his emails Buzz.
yeah. I went
It's
to a
weird
school-
that you worked with Buzz Aldrin for
Yeah.
a while. Yeah.
Well, I said Buzz. It's used, really. Get over it.
Well, you could give each other a name if you like.
No.
No, okay.
Maybe just the novice.
The novice.
Yeah.
So
the
why
novice.
the novice?
Because I know nothing about. Well, I used to know nothing about the Doctor,
And now you know
and
a
now I
bit
do
more.
a bit more. Novice, maybe.
So when we turn up in the TARDIS and the novice is there, what's the novice offer?
The novice usually forgets
Okay.
what he's learned.
Usually
So
there's
you-
another time
you
Lord
come
there
and
marking
you say,
everything off.
I remember we did that podcast and we were talking about the angels and whatnot, and I'm like, I have no
idea.
recollection.
But look, there's a beautiful statue over here. I'm just going to go over.
Yeah.
But novice, we literally just fought the Daleks. How can you not remember? Yeah, look, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't remember. Yeah. Who are you? Who are you?
How do we get home? All right, Nico, what's yours?
The Dream Crusher.
The Dream Crusher.
Sounds like a metal band.
You are so hanging out with the master, aren't you?
No, my mate sort of called me the Dream Killer or whatever because he's this guy who's always come up with this, get rich quick schemes, whatever. And I'm always like just, poking holes in his plans.
Yeah.
So not the Dream Crusher, more the realist. Like, dude, you can't
Absolutely.
do that.
Dream Crusher sounds better.
Yeah. It does. And you imagine, you're having a lovely life and the TARDIS turns up and he's the Dream Crusher and everyone goes, oh, shit.
I love it.
Oh, shit, everything
I can imagine someone being like, what are we going to do with the Daleks? Don't worry, here comes the Dream Crusher.
They have a dream of world domination, the Daleks. That we just send the Dream Crusher in.
Yeah.
Let me explain it to you guys.
And
you've never won. Ever.
Your companions is just a hair metal band.
Yeah.
Oh, so sweet.
I feel like I've known the Dream Crusher my whole life.
Some people call that person my mother.
My dad. Dad, the Dream Crusher.
You're all a disappointment to me.
Yay, he did the thing. Yay, he crushed our dreams.
Oh, that's great. I'm never doing this podcast again.
Can you tell us again that this podcast is going to go nowhere?
Tell us how no one will come to our live show.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much, guys, for being on the podcast. We really appreciate it.
No, thank you. You've given me an idea for a joke too, actually. So.
We
I
love
can't wait
that.
to hear
About you guys.
We did that with Ashwin.
I haven't formulated.
I did this podcast with these two fuckwits. And,
Here's a joke about him.
I've got a theme. I've got a running Super Mario theme, and now I can see that maybe the Daleks are sort of like Super Mario, like we've got the plunger. Or I haven't. This is just
there's something in there.
This is just.
there was a Dalek in a Looney Tunes movie.
Really?
Yeah, it just appeared. That's why they almost couldn't use the Daleks in the new series.
Wow.
Because they
Space Jam?
No, it was Looney Tunes back in action. And they had a Dalek just appear in like a random scene. Didn't say anything, didn't do anything, just was in a scene.
I like that movie.
And the Terry Nations estate was like, how dare you use that without asking us, blah, blah, blah. And they almost didn't allow the new show to use it.
Really? Wouldn't...
And then the BBC probably went, well, where else are you going to use them? And they went, all right, okay, pay us money to use them.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
You guys have
yeah,
something to
cool.
plug. This will come out either
good.
just before or during Bris Funny Fest. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Stephen and I are doing a show called Artisan Boar, which is on August the 10th and 24th at Haya Bar, 3 p.m. Tickets are selling fast. But if you mention to me or Steve that you are a fan of this podcast, we'll sneak you in and possibly even give you a sneaky discount.
Ooh. And he did that in his sexy voice too.
Yeah.
I like that.
I love it when the Dream Crusher talks like that.
I do. I love it when he gets my hopes up and then crushes them.
Yeah. Hey, girl, I just wanted to let you know you'll amount to nothing. Oh, my God, he did the thing.
And you're really ugly.
Do you have anything else to plug? Do you have a Facebook page?
Don't bother going there.
Fantastic. Dream Crusher at it again.
I don't have anything to plug except for Artisan Boar. Come along, and you don't even have to stay for the whole thing. Just
just your bet? Just your bet.
Just as long as...
No.
Just pay.
As long as you get... Yeah, as long as we sort of tick off that you've bought a ticket,
Yeah.
we'll probably trap you in there like you're on the TARDIS. And,
Like Nicchia does to D4WH.
Yeah, in the
guests.
bathroom. Yeah. We'll just knock you over the head. But thank you so much for having us.
No,
on.
thank you
It's
so
been
much.
fun.
Please check
And
these
good
guys
luck
out.
with your-
I'm a big fan of both of them. Steve and I
Yes.
started about the same time, so it's really
absolutely. 2 weeks
good to
ago.
see how much better he is at comedy than I am. So.
Adam did start finally doing comedy, did you, 2 weeks ago? I know you talk
Yeah, when
about
Steve
it.
started, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. Yeah.
I'd hum an old hand. I started 3 weeks ago now.
No, Steve
Yeah.
and I did the same comedy course together.
Did you do Fiona's?
Yeah, we did Fiona's
I
comedy
did
course
Fiona's
together.
comedy course too.
She's a sweetheart.
She's lovely.
We should plug that.
We should, actually.
Oh, yeah. If you're ever interested in doing comedy in Brisbane, please check out Fiona McGarry's comedy course.
Yeah, stand-up comedy course. Fantastic.
Gives you all the tools, gets you the confidence to stand up on stage, and you can really tell the difference when you go to an open mic.
Yeah, you can. You certainly can. Certainly where people hold the microphone and people who don't stand in the spotlight. I had one guy and he wasn't standing in the spotlight and he had the microphone at his hip and it was just all going very badly.
I've devolved from my time back there. Yeah, I
remember when I did Raw for Deli, basically before everyone went up, was make sure you hold it up to your face. If you think it's too close, it's probably not close enough, blah, 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 to every single person. And then one guy went up and did exactly what you held it down here. Couldn't hear anything he said. He did like maybe 2 minutes, forgot the rest of it, walked off stage.
And
it
that's
was a train wreck.
Yeah, it's very rare. I've seen one guy get up, start, it just wasn't going well, and he just kind of just walked off.
That sounds like my
Bavarian.
Yeah. that sounds like
but
my
Nico,
last
you
3
came
months.
back and I liked that. Yeah. No.
Nicchia, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
As always, all in. And just my Facebook page, Nicchia Short Comedy. So,
As always, you can follow Adam O'Sullivan Comedian on Facebook and visit thenerdinfinite.com.
Beck, can you plug your art?
Oh, no.
Go on, you do stuff for us. Oh, no, Adam doesn't want you to either.
No, well,
How about you plug it? You're good at plugging.
Check out Beck's art, and that's not a euphemism or anything. Check out her art at rwolfart.
rwolf.art.
rwolf.art.
Yeah,
there you go.
I couldn't get rwolf without the dot.
Roof art.
Roof art.
Roof fart.
She sits on a roof and...
How did they rope you into this? Seriously?
Believe it or not, I volunteered.
Yeah. And now she's got one of those ankle monitors.
D4WH is on Facebook. Give our page a like for updates and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at D4WHpod. We'll post questions and polls and would love your input and feedback. Rate and review us on iTunes, recommend us on Facebook and follow us on Podbean. We are also now available on Spotify and Stitcher. Help us get the word out. Tell your friends about us. And if you see someone on the street wearing a Doctor Who shirt, politely go up to them and suggest our podcast.
Okay, location.
Beach?
Yep.
Right.
Coffee grinder.
Get the word out. You might be hanging out on the beach enjoying a nice cold cup of coffee from your coffee grinder, which, you have nowhere to plug it in, but still you've brought it down to the beach anyway.
Looking like a dickhead.
Sitting there out in the middle of the Australian winter, which of course is still bloody hot, so that's why you're at the beach. Who knows where the kids are? Oh, fuck it, they've gone somewhere. So you just lay back in the sun, stick on your headphones and listen to a bit of D4WH, and all it takes is about 30 seconds before you have stage 4 breast cancer.
Because listening to D4WH comes with a free feel up from Adam. Sometimes it gets a bit rough.
The doctor's got dementia.
It only takes 30 seconds before you have stage 4 sun cancer, because this is Australia. And as we all know, climate change isn't real. So thank you, and keep searching the skies for the doctor, and keep searching your breasts for lumps.
Goodbye.
Thank you, guys.
See ya.
This has been a production of The Nerd Infinite. And then the sound of dragons spitting fire and stuff. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
However, Luke's can be soothing.
What? What are you, the Swedish chef now?
Hurdy-gurdy.